I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Out! Out!
All right, we are recording to the computer, and we're going to get going right now.
Are you doing the intro?
You done? Is there a delay between intelligence and you?
There's a delay. There is a delay, actually.
2 Owls, 1 Pod.
Oof.
We're a podcast from the web series The Two Dicks. Check it out on YouTube. I'm Al Ducharme. I'm with Bernadette Pauley. We're in Glendale, Arizona, and we're talking to Al Romas, who is on the Utopia of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. And he is recovering from, I don't know, what did you have, a flu?
AIDS? I don't know.
AIDS.
I don't know. I have some. I remember now, I was on the Liberty of the Seas, 3 and 4 day cruise. That week ended. And on the last day on that, I remember taking a shower and being like, when it starts, you get a little something, you go, that's weird. A little scratchy throat. It's fine. Then Friday, I came here to Utopia. Bernie was here and saw you. Friday seemed fine. And then Saturday, you were going to be on the podcast. We were going to have you on the pod then. And I sent you a text saying, hey, I don't know if you want to. Yeah, I'm getting sick. So it's been a full week of sickness and about 9 days that I've had this thing. So I would assume at some point it's going to get better. Or else I die.
You'll be fine overnight. Usually the 10-day is the marker. So if
Is
you
that
have
right?
if you have a
hopefully.
7-day cold and it's not gone, you got to give it the extra 3. And you're going to be a new person now. Think
Nice.
positive.
All
That's
right.
like-
Or maybe you just feigned an illness to keep a female voice off of your show. Is that kind of
It
what
didn't
happened?
work, did it?
The white
did.
males circled the wagons and kept the woman out.
But now you're
And
here.
here I
so
am.
yeah. So my
But here I
my
am.
plot didn't work.
He keeps
Here I
telling
am.
me I'm too
Just-
loud on the podcast.
Well, because the levels in post will take me an extra hour to adjust. So if you just talk normal like this with the microphone, you'll be fine.
I've had the don't lean in speech many a time.
And he
many,
still does it. He
many-
leans in like
I'm leaning
Mona
back
Dude
on my
in
chair,
Maui.
you goddamn swine. I'm
As soon
leaning
as-
back in the chair.
as soon as we're done with this episode, I'm driving myself to a ladies' shelter.
Thank you.
I'll drop
I
it.
don't know how you do it.
I will drop it
Your
off.
your endurance with this character is impressive as it is.
Well, let me
Now,
just
you're
say,
in.
you say that now. You, Al Romas, have been doing a podcast and a web series for 6 years with me, and this one has been with me, married to me for 20 years. So,
Oh my God.
hello, you both could have stepped away, and you keep coming back for Al Ducharme. You keep coming back for more.
I only have to see you once a week for a half hour or an hour, so mine's easier. Hers is a whole different story. I understand why she's jumping on those ships now. I really do get it.
Yes.
True.
Now you're on land, you two. You are in a comedy club.
We're in
this'll
Glendale,
be-
Arizona at Stir Crazy Comedy Club.
Really, that's a nice, intimate club.
Yeah.
Well run.
It's really well run.
It's our second time here together. Bernadette is headlining, and I weaseled my way onto her show so that we can go to the Grand Canyon, which I've never been to, which you say is overrated. And we're going to go spend
I just
3 or 4 days in the Grand Canyon area, but we're going to do Sedona, Flagstaff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're going to do 1 day at the Grand Canyon, and the rest of
Yeah.
the time we're going to do those other places.
Yeah, I've never been. I was just kidding. I always say overrated to things I've never done. It makes me feel better that I don't miss out. It sucks. It's overrated. What are we talking intimate? What does that mean? Small, 100 seats, 280? What are we doing?
I think its occupancy is 150.
Okay.
So if they get 125 in there, like the first show last night, it's pretty busy.
It's a nice vibe. It's a nice setup. The green room
Great
had
staff.
really cool green room. Just a real respect for comedy, which is cool.
well-oiled
nice.
machine.
Yeah.
They wait this.
Is it a comedian own it, run it? Is he a comedian?
His
Sounds
name
like
is
might have
Tom.
been.
I think Tom did stand up, but he's more of a business software guy. And I don't think he's been on stage in a while, but occasionally if they're in a jam, he'll go up and host. But he does have some stand-up history. He just prefers the business side of things.
Yeah, whenever you hear a club well run or respect for comedy, usually, the guy has some connection to comedy and knows what he's doing. It's not just a businessman. You talking about like Is it roughly the same size or like the rooms out here? The attic? That's about
Yeah.
125, 150.
Yeah, but the way it's situated,
The layout is
the layout is
perfect.
perfect
Yeah.
for a stand-up comedy. You enter a black curtain to come behind the stage. There's a door backstage, and it goes right out to the you got the brick back. It's a real brick back wall. It's not fake.
Yeah.
And again, well-oiled machine. The staff is all trained to duck down when they're taking orders from the
Yeah.
customers. It's
2 shows per night.
Two
Yeah.
shows per, and the green room is really, it's a small green room, but it's green, and he's got some beautiful, old Joan Rivers pics and Carlin and memorabilia from, like just
Sounds
cool
good.
stuff. Yeah. And he does
Yeah.
local. That Al came in with me because we want to go to the Grand Canyon, but he only hires one person to come in usually, and he uses local folk. That's why.
So I am hated amongst the
Gotcha.
locals because those guys
Yeah.
vying for that stage time, and I took it from them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing we were saying on one of the pods where middle acts nowadays, how do they make money and how do they work? Because headliners are all bringing their friend with them or someone, an opener. Everyone's doing that. I did it for years with Consoli. And, but if you're like back in the day, you would just, when you were coming up, you would MC, then you'd middle for a while. The club would hire you as the feature. And
Yeah.
it seems like that role now is gone. And
Yeah.
I just don't know how anyone does it anymore. I really,
Well,
I don't either.
there's also 20,000 more comedians than there were when we
I
started.
know.
And there's people that full-time jobs, and they go, "Oh, I'm going to do some stand-up comedy." And
Why?
they drive 25,
Why?
30 minutes.
Yeah, if you're a lawyer, just be a lawyer. You don't need
Be a lawyer.
you don't need to be at comedy night. You don't have to be the funniest lawyer. Just we have enough comics and people vying for these jobs. I
I
think.
agree.
Well, didn't things, I mean, haven't we discussed this before, or I've discussed it with other people? The change was, or was this the change when Seinfeld went through the roof and became the mega entity that he was? That's when every actor and just people with other odd jobs were like, "Oh, I can do that too." It became the road to fame as opposed to 20, 30 years ago, people wanted to go on the road for their whole life and be a funny stand-up comedian, but now it's considered an avenue, right? Is that what
I
that
think,
is?
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I really don't know, but I think that is, and those shows like Seinfeld, he was a comedian. He was in his apartment all day, goofing with his friends. You didn't see him really work hard. Then they had other shows where about comedians. The lifestyle looks amazing if you were to be a young person going, I
Yeah.
don't know what to do with my life.
Yeah.
They don't show the real, they've never really shown that. I don't think there's been a movie or a show where to show you in a motel,
Right?
alone,
Yeah.
those kind of things.
Or sleeping in your car, which
Eating the
Right.
mini, eating the mini hot dogs at their breakfast.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. Like Crashing, remember that one on HBO with
Right.
Pete Holmes, and he was doing comedy 4 nights at the Cellar, and then he was opening for Artie Lang, and then he was warm-up guy on a TV show. It's like we skipped over some years and some experiences here.
Artistic
I get
license.
it; it's a show, but yeah. So yeah, that could be it. I don't know, but I got to tell you this. I was on stage the other night, and this black lady comes in late, big black lady, like 300 plus, and her friend. And so I go, "Oh, so late, blah blah blah," and they go, "We were eating dinner," like the whole thing. I go, "Okay." I go, "Well, great." Then she's fanning herself she has a big pull-out fan, and it's purple, and she's massive, and she's in the second. I mean, it's so obvious, and so I'm like, "Oh, you warm? Are you having a spell?" And I'm in my head, I'm putting her. Yeah, I'm having her in like 1940 or 1840,
Yes.
whatever, in the South. So then I go, "What do you have? One of your spells? Would you like a mint julep? You're sitting there on the plantation." And as I say plantation,
Oh no.
my brain's like, "Whoa!" And the crowd is like, everything just freezes, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So then my brain kicked, and I just kept going, like I made believe it never happened. So I'm like, let's get you a mint julep, let's calm you down, blah blah. And then thank God she and her friend laughed so much that it was allowed the crowd.
Yeah.
If they had stayed silent at all,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I might have been fired. I mean, it was one of those like
I have witnessed
insane
that.
moments.
I've witnessed that a few times where it kind of get, you're riffing and it kind of gets away and you don't want to be that guy, and you're not that guy,
No,
but
I meant
you want to be
plantain, like the
misconstrued.
fact you're sitting like, a white person or a black, just sitting on a massive
Yeah.
patio,
Having a
you
fainting
know,
spell, like the old
right.
Southern
Exactly.
movies, is what you were
Yes,
On the
thinking.
tobacco plantation.
but
I didn't
that
say
word
cotton.
comes
I said
out and it's a
tobacco.
weird,
Yeah.
it's just a weird word.
Yes, it is.
And she was
I
laughing
wasn't
and
saying that as a slave
I got out
owner.
of that so quick. You couldn't believe it.
Oh, well, I'm glad. So she enjoyed it. They were
But I've
laughing.
seen so many
Good.
comedians over
They
the
were laughing.
years where they border that, and it's true. A lot of white people will look over nervously at the black people to see
Hmm.
if they're laughing, and once they laugh, then everybody's relieved and they laugh, and it's kind of one of those situations. Like,
It's kind of become a comedy, like hacky, not hacky, but a line comics use, like, "Hey, the black people are laughing, you can
Yes.
laugh."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everyone says that kind of thing, but thank God, because all later you think and you go, if she didn't laugh, what would have happened? Because it would have been dead silence in there, and my last word was plantation to a big black lady.
And they would have put you on a lifeboat.
I would have just said something about my sickness, like my head's so, I'm so ill right now. I didn't even know what I said,
Are you taking
but
any medications at all over the counter or under the
no,
counter?
no, I'm
Nothing.
fighting through it.
Really?
Kelly's pissed. She's getting annoyed every day because I don't, I should get something, but
Are you
what? I mean,
sleeping?
the ibuprofen, that was good, but I feel like it's just a Band-Aid. I got to get through this.
Well, you have to sleep. You rest, you
I,
recover quicker. So if your sleep is disrupted,
NyQuil.
last night I went to sleep, woke up this morning at 6:30, so awake that I was like, I should get dressed. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to lay back. And then I woke up at 11:30. So I need the sleep. It's just
Yes.
I'm not getting it in that 9 hour or 8 hour full cycle. But
I'm not getting that either.
I felt bad for you too, not feeling well, because there is nothing worse than being feel in that condition on a ship. You
it's
just hang in your cabin all day. You avoid everyone. You don't go, and it just gets,
yeah.
it's a
It
lot.
this job it's great. It's a great job, but when you're ill, that's like there's no real call in sick, or you just sort of have to do it. You hope for that adrenaline and some stage health, and then when it comes through usually, but then when it's over, boy, the body just falls apart.
But that's why I felt bad. Like, what do you do when there's 3 shows or
Oh,
2 shows?
tonight.
The adrenaline gets you
Tonight?
through, and then I'm so
And you're
sorry.
worse than you were how long ago?
No, I mean I don't know if I'm worse. It's all, it's like my throat is hurting, and I just feel, you know, weak and sick.
Well, you're a trooper,
You
pushing
are
through and
troopers.
performing all those
Yes.
shows. How many shows since you came down with the Ebola virus?
I don't know. What we did, I did 2, 4, 6, 13, I think. It's crazy.
13 shows.
And then yeah, and then Monday, so we have 3 tonight, which is Saturday, and then 2 Sunday in the theater.
Now,
And then we're off Monday.
did
So
you
I have
go
the
to a
day off
cigar
Monday.
bar during your illness
Sure.
and
I'm
smoked a
already
cigar
sick. I'm already sick.
without getting medication?
Yes.
All right.
I didn't say I was the brightest guy in the world. I'm just saying.
Just checking your intelligence.
Well, I got off the ship and then I went to Grills. I had the breakfast there at Grills.
Mhm.
You'll-
Spread your disease amongst all the passengers that would join the
well,
ship.
I have to get out, man. I have to get some, some air,
Yeah.
some sun. But then I'm like, well, I need a few cigars and I should go. And I had one. I know it was probably, I don't know if it sets you back or I have no
What I'm
idea.
saying is get some sleeping aids so that you get your rest.
Well, I have gummies. I have gummies to take to sleep.
We decided, or we were talking about my new thing. I had the tooth infection. I'm not trying to compete with you, and I'll have that taken care of when I'm back home in LA. But he mentioned Frank Santarelli, funny comedian, said his mother-in-law used Listerine every night before bed and never was sick a day in her life. My dad used old man, the brown, yellow Listerine. I'm going to get myself some Listerine. I think it could have cured COVID.
Interesting. Yeah, I used to, as a kid, I think we always had Listerine
We
in the
always had
Right?
house.
Listerine.
What happened to Listerine? Yeah, we always had it in the,
It was heinous because it was only one flavor, and then they came out with the green, the mint,
I
and
just remember the green.
that's when I was okay with it.
It's
But
like a punch
when
to
you
the
take that and
face.
you rinse your mouth, for what is it, 30 seconds and spit it out, my entire
Mm.
head felt like it was inflamed.
Yes, it
Like everything. It
kills.
was just like it was painful.
Oh,
Did you
that's
experience that?
interesting. Yeah,
So maybe
Listerine. That's a
it
good
says
idea.
it kills 99.9% of germs inside of your mouth and sinuses and all that.
I remember that on the label. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did we stop with the Listerine though? It seems like that
I don't think
nobody
it's good
talks
for
about
you,
it or have it
but
anymore.
then we have
Oh,
those
that doesn't good.
stories.
Yeah.
Well, because they want to
Yeah,
sell you
that's right.
something more expensive too, maybe.
Yeah. So you have not been to the dentist yet. I remember you needed the dentist.
I went in,
Oh, you
they
did.
took a 3D. Yeah, that dentist on that ship was excellent, and everything that she pinpointed and said, they took a 3D image of my teeth, and an endodontist is looking at it. And if he thinks he can salvage this tooth, that will happen on the Tuesday when I'm back. If he says no, then we will start the process of me getting an implant, which is going to be fun.
Oh. Oh.
Can you get
I don't
implants
know.
for your chest while you're there, like a twofer or a threefer?
Maybe a BOGO. Yeah, 2 for 1.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I don't.
I'll ask him
Maybe
about
in Mexico. In Mexico, they could do that. There's doctors there that. I was telling Bernie. I don't know if you've been to the dentist, Alfred, in Cozumel.
I have not, but I know a lot of people who have. Yeah.
Very good, like
Yeah.
state of the art,
That's
$40.
the
But
facilities and
Mhm.
whatnot.
God damn it.
Yeah, remember you said he made you a mouthpiece, and you're thinking, because in the States you'd have to go 16 times and get fitted and blah, 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 blah. And this guy's like, yeah, pick it up at 2. Like, which,
Literally.
so same thing, we've had dogs in the United States in big cities where you have to go to the veterinarian and it costs a fortune, just like the runaround we get.
Hmm.
Years ago, Al and we had our buddy, and we were paying a fortune in vet bills and tests, and we have to do this and this and this first. We worked in upstate New York, way upstate. And the owner of the club had this old chocolate lab. And he said, yeah, I've got to take him to the vet. And this lab had like a growth, like a meatball growing out of the side of his head. But he was old and happy. He
Yeah.
goes, yeah, I got to take him to the vet for this thing. Takes him in a pickup truck. And the vet takes a look at it and goes, yeah, I'll take it off. Pick him up at 2:00. You know what I mean? And
$60.
and
Right.
the dog's got a big bandage and he's all happy. Yeah,
Yep.
$60. Now, if that was Buddy, they would have wanted to do 16 scans. Let's see if
Of
psychologically
course.
he can handle. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
in Los Angeles, Studio City, where we live, the vet had Prada shoes on, and there was a brand new Mercedes convertible parked right next. I
course.
said, "That's his car," and he came in,
Hmm.
and even his scrubs were like designer
Yeah.
scrubs, and he's like, he goes, "Yeah, we can replace his knee. I can do that, and
And he
Yeah.
goes, let's do both.
let's do both while we're at it."
Yeah, while we're at it.
Oh,
You don't want
okay.
to. So I'm
Sure.
ready to.
Yeah,
I'm ready to pay the 10.
2,100,
Yeah.
whatever, a piece, and then plus the other thing. It's like
Yeah.
$8,000.
And then the guy walks out and he says, I'll let you discuss it. And I'm like, well, of course, we're going to get this knee surgery for our dog. And he goes, he had Prada shoes on. That was his, he goes, we're not doing this. And I was like, oh, this is our baby.
You do a whole bit about this,
I
Al.
can
Look,
see Al's. I would love to see Al's reaction to hearing the 4,000 for the knee.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
because
more than that.
you dropped
Yeah.
you dropped like $4,000, didn't you? Something like that.
I did. It was $4,000 for the ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
But with Teddy now, she's taking charge, and we're taking Teddy to a holistic veterinarian because she's sick of he gets a shot, then he comes home and vomits, and he's ill, and then she was looking into it, and it's like we're just poisoning these dogs. I mean,
Yes, we
fuck
think
this.
that Buddy's life was shortened because of two things: all that, the vaccinations and whatnot, but also his food. We were getting him high-end food, and it became one of these things where 6 high-end dog foods were laced with something that was giving dogs
Yeah.
issues. And I'm like, great, we just lost 5 years of our dog.
Yeah, we were doing Blue Diamond, whatever the big one, the best supposed
Yeah.
bag of food was.
Mhm.
And they're all garbage. You find out the bag of food thing is processed garbage that nothing should be eating.
Did your
You know.
dog have an allergic reaction to their rabies vaccine? Because Buddy did. Our Buddy did. Had a very big problem with it.
I don't know offhand, but I would say yes because he's had problems with these vaccinations, and that's why she was like, "I don't want to do this anymore." And I was like, "Great, I'm for it." You know,
No,
I
you're-
mean,
I'm sorry. The only time we ran into an issue was when we were on the road, which we were often, was leaving Buddy at a doggy daycare where he had to have vaccinations and whatnot
mhm.
to leave him. So we got a veterinarian to just take was it a titers?
a titers test every year
Right.
To show that he had the antibodies in his system and he didn't
Yeah.
need the shot right then and there because he was a small dog. Here he is, this 10-pound Chihuahua, and they're giving him the same amount as
It's-
a 50-pound,
no,
80-pound
it's terrible.
Rottweiler. It's like, come on.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, we
So-
just got, in fact, Kelly and I were just sending videos back and forth yesterday or whatever about the titer test and the whole thing. And same thing. But we just, I remember my sister worked at a vet and she was all this. And she used to say, other than heartworm, because you got to give them heartworm, she
Yes.
thought you had to have.
Yeah.
But other than that, a lot of them you don't need. And I would send her with the vet would send me and she was like, cross it off. No. It's like your dog doesn't live outside. Your dog doesn't, he's not in the woods.
It's not
No.
1842.
No.
And here's the other thing. When the government puts these things in place, they get some sort of vig out of it because there's tax collected. There's something goes to the government, right? So the incentive is to put all these regulations in and overregulate it. My belief, it's not conspiracy theory here. I think that that's true. It's just
Well, it is weird though, with all of evolution and everything, that dogs are still basically dying at 16 is like a long life. You would think now, we'd be at a point where you go, yeah, he lives 25, 30 years. Because we do. We're living older.
It's shortening their life, I think.
It's killing them. I mean, and that food is garbage.
People too.
Literally.
People too. It's the same exact thing with people. Everybody's on 10 medications now, and
Right. I know. I hate it.
yeah,
I try not to, but
it's regulated because the corporations control the government. I mean, let's be honest. They pay our,
You come up with a drug and it's going to make $12 million in profit over 10 years. You pass that law, right? You get that FDA approval. You get all that stuff because there's a tax on every sale that goes to the government, and then they can fund pockets of everybody and also pay for wars. There we go. I had to get that out.
all right.
So,
Zombie
Al,
podcast.
your dog is an anti-vaxxer.
Yes.
Maybe your dog should start a podcast.
Did he vote for
please,
JFK?
please.
I'm sorry, not JFK. RFK. Jr.?
RFK.
Yeah, I sound a little like him. My dog Max had a Facebook page back in the day when Facebook was kind of new, and it was very popular among his friends and people we knew. But it was fun because I would write the updates as if Max was kind of an annoyed dog about life. And so it was a fun thing to do as a writing thing too, And then when Max passed, there was quite a bit on his page about, we're going to miss every day your updates and people who never met him, just somehow through Facebook. So that was cool. But a podcast for Teddy, I don't think so. I'm thinking wait on that.
Okay.
Hold on.
I got to tell you another. I have a note here. I got to tell you another one from the other night. I come on stage. I'm going second, or no, I think I was opening. I don't know. Maybe I was opening. And a woman, I look over and her eyes are shut, and her hands like this, and her eyes are completely shut. And it's 8:30, and I said something. I go, "Oh, are you tired?" I go, "Is she asleep?" And she opens her eyes, and then I go, I had done a few jokes. I had just done a joke about the name Karen, and she's asleep. So I tell her, "Oh, we're here, blah, 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 wake up." I go, "Did you have a long day?" She goes, "No." Very annoyed. "No." I go, "Oh, just tired?" She goes, "No, not tired at all." I go, "Oh, just bored?" She goes, "You got it." And I go, "Oh, well," I go, "there's going to be another guy after me. So hopefully you'll like him." And it was the weirdest. And her husband is laughing the whole time. He's great. He's great. She's looking at him like what's her name, Jada Smith, looking at Will Smith, getting pissed off because he's laughing. So he doesn't know what to do. So I finally end, and I bring up Colin. He comes out, and they get up to leave. And he goes, "Whoa, what did I say?" And they're like, "Goodbye." And the entire crowd, not the entire crowd, three-quarters of the crowd starts chanting, "Bye, Karen. Bye,
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So I never know what happened. I asked the comedy host, I go, "Did they say anything when they left the room?" And he goes, "No, they were just talking. Everything seemed fine." You never know what it was. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You never really know. Maybe her name was Karen and it hit her.
Sure.
Maybe she just didn't want to be there. Maybe she hated me. You don't know. But I love the crowd was like, "Nope, we're behind you." And she sucks.
And you know what? I will say, working on the ships, when you see like a really, and you've said this to me, but until you experience it, it sucks when people can be so rude like that and they walk out in the middle of your, or they talk to you like that. But then when you sit and you watch a really good comic and people aren't appreciating them either, it's not like misery loves company, but you're like, remember, don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally. Yeah,
That's really the number one rule you could tell people working ships is don't take it personally, because they may have a kid in the Venture Ocean that the time's
absolutely.
up.
That's happened. I
There's
said,
a
"Hey,
lot
where
of
are you going?"
reasons
He said,
to
"I have to
leave.
pick up my kid. It's 10 o'clock, and there's a cutoff time." But the gamblers are the one that those annoy me. The gamblers, they're coming on the ship just to gamble, and then their spouse says, "Hey, why don't you just come to one show?" They're always in the casino, and there you could see them. They're like 15 minutes in, they're like getting up, they're talking to them, they're whispering. I'm like, "Is everything okay?" And then they go, and he leaves. They go, "Are you going to the restroom?" She goes, "No, he's going back to the casino."
Yes. Isn't that weird? Like we've all had that. And it's amazing how
So
many.
he's not even, he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to,
Right.
he's not in there to laugh. All he wants to think about is how is he going to win his $1,200 back that he lost.
Yeah. Yeah. And so many times when they're leaving, I'll say something because it just, I go, "Well, you leaving already?" And they go, "Oh, yeah, but you're great." And because they're going somewhere.
Yeah.
They're not shitting on you.
Yes.
But in your head, as you're like, "Oh, they hate me." And, so that's why a lot of times it's dangerous to ask, because I worked with a comic that we know, and he's a great guy, but it wasn't happening all week. It just, that kind of room isn't for him. He's more of maybe a theater and a different type of cruise line, older. So I went on, and these young guys walked in while I was on, and I was like, "Oh, you're so late," whatever I said. And they go, "Yeah, we wanted to make sure we missed the other guy."
Ooh.
And the other guy was sitting at the bar right there.
Awful. Ooh,
And it was
awful.
so
Ouch.
shitty. And then I was like, are you kidding? I go, "He's fucking great." And I gave a bunch of his credits and that kind of thing where you go, "Ooh,
What is wrong with people, man?
no reason for that. No reason, just keep it to yourself."
Well, actually, it's funny because if you can chop these things out, you're talking about the gamblers don't want to sit through the show as Royal Caribbean is ripping our comedy clubs
Yeah, but
out.
nobody's
But-
going to, nobody's going to get 40 minutes into this podcast from Royal Caribbean.
That's true. They don't even bother anymore. When we started, it was always Miami, but they don't. But that's a good point when you think of it. That's kind of funny,
What?
that it's all about. Well, I mean, they're going to leave the room to go gamble. Now they don't have to leave the room anymore. The room is going to be a casino.
No, but doesn't even Vegas that runs on gambling has got all this other stuff for children and for the non-gamblers because, if the family vacation, if everybody goes and the gambler's just in the casino 24/7 and you don't gamble, you're going to get mad and you're not going to go with them anymore. So ultimately, I do feel if you don't provide all that other stuff, I don't know. What do I know? I don't own a
What do you-
cruise line.
No, I
Just sit
feel
there and look
like
pretty.
I agree though. I feel like it's I don't know. It has nothing to do with cruising really. It needs another word. You know what I mean? And that in my mind, cruising is you're sitting out, and looking at the water and it's relaxing and it's quiet and now this has gone the other way. It's all activities, it's all music 24/7.
I've seen people, I've witnessed this so
okay.
many times. They're sitting around the pool. They're sitting around the pool. It's a port day. They say, hey, we're going to stay on the ship. We're not going to do the excursions. We want to chill out. 70% of the people are going to leave the ship. It's great. There's extra space. It's going to be quiet. And you can see them out there. They're in the sun. Some of them are reading. And all of a sudden, a DJ comes out, puts on the volume all the way up, goes, time. And people are startled. They're startled. And it's like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
I go, why do they do that?
Well, that particular ship, though, is they're saying it's the world's biggest weekend. So
it is. I understand that. Yeah.
That particular, I'm just talking about a normal ship. And then I've talked to passengers and saying, we're going to go back to such and such cruise ship.
Yeah.
In a particular line. It could be whatever line you're on. They say, we like this other ship better. It's a little bit more laid back.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
100%.
Or another cruise line. They said, we're going to go back to that cruise line because they don't do all this in your face.
If I was in my 20s with some buddies and some girls and came on here, I'd love it. I mean, it's
sure.
I want to be up all night and party and drink, and that's great. But for me, and again, I don't care. I have no say in it. I'm just working. But like, if I have a cigar on deck 15 with my earbuds in, I can't watch anything. That music is so loud. It goes. It's pointless. I can read, but I cannot watch a video. And you go, is that relaxing to anybody?
No,
I don't know.
Isn't.
And now they have it set up on a lot of cruise ships where they have that great divide where if you're a higher end, a Pinnacle on Royal, or you have these separate areas where you can go and get away from all that. Whereas back in the day, that area was reserved for everybody. So if you wanted to take a break from the noise and the high energy, you could go over there. But now those places have been taken away because they want to upsell everybody to pay that extra to have that.
I get it. I'm on the fence because if I, as a shareholder of the company, I understand what they're doing. I get it. But as someone who's cruised for a long time and works and likes it, I don't really, that's not my thing. That kind of nonstop electronic music. And
it was never my thing. You say in your 20s, I didn't even like it then. I liked it occasionally, but just to be like all the way balls to the walls.
But we had good music when we were in our 20s. We didn't have that. It was good music. It was, it wasn't that kind of thumping. It was music, bands, which I don't think exists.
We sound like old guys, but
I don't know.
I'm embracing it because I agree with you 100%.
Did you show? Did you show Bernie that clip of Neil Diamond? Did you see that thing?
I did not. Did you want to discuss that today?
I wanted to just, if you could drop it in for a second, because there's a clip of Neil Diamond.
Flag for stealing, but go ahead.
Well, a couple seconds of Neil Diamond's in concert. I mean, he's laying on the stage, and he's singing "Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon." And the woman, he pulls her up to the stage. He's laying down on his stomach, and as he's singing it, he's making out with the woman, literally making out.
How old
Not
is she?
A kiss. They're making out.
And
then he sings more. Then they make out. And then it ends. And she goes running back into the crowd, so excited. It's just like, what is going on here? Neil is literally.
And this isn't from 40 years ago. This is 2 weeks ago.
Well, Neil looks pretty good for 95 or whatever he is now. But I just never saw anything like that. I'm like, Jesus
You guys
Christ.
are jealous you can't do it.
All right. Yes.
You want to do that in the attic, don't you?
I do.
You want to reach out to somebody in the front row?
Yeah, 300-pound black lady who I almost insulted. I'll bring her up and give her a nice kiss. I would give her a kiss for fucking laughing at that moment.
Yes.
I'll give her a big wet one, no doubt. She came through for me.
How did that story get worse?
Exactly.
You're trying to save yourself. He said, whoa, he pulled back on the throttle, he missed the mountain, and he's going into the ravine.
So where are you going after this? You guys, you going to the Grand Canyon. Don't do anything weird in there. A lot of people, don't be trying to get a selfie on an edge. We're doing all the safe stuff. We're not doing a hike to the bottom of the canyon and back because a lot of people don't make it back, or or they go. It's funny. I was downstairs in the hotel having breakfast, and it came on the local news. They said 70% of the people that need to be rescued are locals, and they forget
They think that, oh, I live here, and they don't hydrate the night before. They
Oh,
go out just a mile or two further than they
uh,
should rather than turning back. They go, let's do it. We got this far. Let's keep going. And then that's when they get into trouble and they get stuck and they run out of water and they got a call. They can't get a signal and
huh.
they contact other people. And then finally a rescue helicopter is contacted and they come in and they're
Do
extracted.
they have to pay for that? The people who get rescued, do they have to pay for those helicopters? If it's like a dumb thing of you
Unknown.
being down there, how does that? I wonder if is that a free, or do
Is
they
it like
bill
the
you at the
fire
end
and
and go,
everything? Our
"Hey,
taxes pay for it?
I don't know how that works," because I don't know. It's a question, I guess. I saw a fun fact about the Grand Canyon. I don't know if it's true. It was on the internet. It said if you had everyone in the world around the Grand Canyon urinating, it would take 8,000 years to fill up. How about that fun fact?
We got
What do
Ain't that a pisser?
you like it? What do you think? Is that even remote? Could that happen, or is
I
that
like
even?
the idea that you went on the internet because you knew that we were going to the Grand Canyon. You're like, what can I look up to
No.
scare the shit out of them? Oh,
I'm
but this
just
is a
thinking,
true fact.
how many people are in the world? In the world, I don't know.
8.6 bill.
Okay, and they all
8.6.
urinate at the same time. They said it would
Mhm.
take 8,000 years to fill the Grand Canyon.
No
That just
evaporation.
hurts my brain. I can't do that.
Well, I mean,
I
is
don't know.
that no evaporation? Is that
I don't know, Al. I didn't
I,
inquire
I
and
I think
dig
I fought
deeper.
my way onto this podcast so that there could be a woman voice, and I
That
just
was
think I
what a
want no
mistake.
part of
you'll
it.
be a woman soon?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
recreate the Neil Diamond clip for us if you would. Bernie's the first person who wanted to be on the pod. Thank you.
Yes.
Usually we have to screaming and grabbing and crying, but you were like, "I'll be on it." Thank you. Is this your third appearance?
For me
Are you a 3-time club?
to do an entire, I
I
feel like
think
I've done
so. I
it
think this is your
more.
third time. Well, you've made cameos, like when I'm
You've made some
recording, you'd walk
cameos.
in the office and heckle me and take
Yeah.
over the mic, and then
And then I can leave. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. I
you'd
can
rat me
leave.
out to Al about something, and then Al would shit on me for the rest of the podcast. You two should have your own
Those
podcast.
are fun.
It's called Shit on
Those are
Al.
fun.
No, I'm trying to
Yeah.
get on Al's dog's podcast. He's got a huge following.
Yeah.
I'm
Teddy's
glad you
pod.
said
Teddy
podcast
pod.
after you said I'm trying to get on Al's dog.
Hey now.
That's my
See what he
husband.
did there? See what he
I
did.
do.
So wait, you guys, now you do the 2 shows tonight. You go to the
Shows
Grand
tonight.
Can, and then what's next? What do we got on the
We are going to head up to
horizon?
Williams, Arizona. We're going to spend 2 nights there. We have a cabin we've rented. That's in its own area, but it's still 50 minutes away from the Grand Canyon. So we have a rental car. We're going to drive up, do the Grand Canyon during the day, and then we'll come back to our campsite, and then we'll venture there as a bunch of trails. We'll probably go into Flagstaff for dinner.
Go
And then
into
we're gonna
town.
yeah,
Go
go
into
into
town for a
town.
meal.
Sure. And then we're going to go to
Yeah.
Sedona, which is supposed to be beautiful. I've never
Yeah, we've
been.
heard about Sedona from everyone. So
That's one
Um,
of those I've never been, but that place has that rep of
I think we're staying in
beautiful.
an 1880s bank that's been converted
Yeah.
to a mini boutique hotel.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. And
All right.
we'll spend 1 night there, and then we'll make our way back to Phoenix overnight, and then we'll both fly. I'll fly back to Los Angeles, and you'll fly to
Cape
Orlando.
Canaveral.
Cape
I'll
Canaveral.
go do a night in Orlando and then I'll get on the
Ah,
Utopia. I wonder if I'm
uh,
replacing you.
you are. I'm leaving Friday. I
Oh,
leave.
cool.
Make sure they
Yeah.
disinfect that cabin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm let me think. I'm replacing you.
You'll be with you for the weekend. You'll be with Simeon Kirklees.
Oh, fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, he comes on Monday, and he'll do the week. Yeah, so you'll see old Sim for 3 days.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Are you doing a week or 2 weeks? What are you on?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So 4 cruises
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, 3 and a 4 day, 3 and a 4 day.
I kind of like the 3 and 4. I don't know. It seems like the week moves a little quicker somehow. I don't know why.
The 3 and 4
For
day?
me, yeah, for me, not the crew and everything, but I like because like now we're do 3 tonight, and then tomorrow this cruise is over. You know what I mean?
Yes.
2 in the theater, start Monday, 4, go home Friday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mentally, it goes quicker than just getting on and having 14 days.
Yes.
Just a little, mind game.
And it is a new group, but then you will find there are a lot of turnaround people, and they will still come see you many, many times. And you feel,
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? But,
yes, I met many of them on the turnaround day in the dining room. They were all, I was getting coffee, and they're like, hey, we saw you. We're going to come. I'm like, okay, it's the same show. And they're like, no, we're coming. Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's nice when the people come back knowing that you're going to do the same material. That means they want to hear it again. That's nice. It's the ones that come back.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do a new joke.
No, fuck those people. And the thing also I like is that I do like about this ship is where if you go on other ship, you're with the same guy or girl for the week. This is like I've worked with Bernie, I've worked with Colin, and I'm going to work with Simeon all within
nice
2
variety.
weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it shakes it up if you don't care for the person or you just want whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. So
True.
that's a plus. That's a plus of the old Utopia.
And hopefully you'll be negative soon after they test you.
I think
all right,
so.
we're going to wrap things up. Have the best. You have 3 shows tonight. All the best. We're going to be posting some pictures of our Grand Canyon. I brought my fancy camera with the big long zoom lens in case there's any mountain goats or mountain lions. And Bernadette and I are going to enjoy our little vacation after our 2 shows.
Nice. Yeah. And the shows last night, good shows at
the first one was
Comedy
spectacular, and then the second one was the second show, Friday night show.
Yes.
We know it well.
Yes.
We know it well.
Yes, we do.
Al still, his face is frozen from a second show Friday. Yep. It's amazing, isn't it, how that's never really changed? It's still the thing.
No. And it's funny, you have your pockets of people that are really enjoying you. And they're laughing, but then they're like looking around too, going, why isn't anybody laughing with us?
Yeah. I know. Yep. But all right, guys. Well, enjoy. Piss on the Grand Canyon if you could, 2 of you at the same time. And then you could do a little, science experiment, figure out if we multiplied this by everyone on Earth over 8,000, would it take 8,000 years to fill up? I'd be interested in the answer to that.
Okay.
This connection has been terminated.
Feel better.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Adios.
Peace.
Cute.
So long, Al. Have a good trip.
Iceberg dead ahead. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
A feeding frenzy quickly develops.
I'm losing my mind.
This is the 2 Owls, 1 Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Okay, sure.
Subscribe. Mary, this was a horrible mistake.
Patreon.com/2owls1pod.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.
Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.